My insurance on this Booster is less than $50 a month, and I'm gonna tell you how. What's up? Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is your main man, Booster Rails. Today we're gonna talk about how I pay less than 50 bucks a month for full coverage insurance on my 2024 Gen 3 Suzuki Hayabusa anniversary edition, which just really means the color. But I'm gonna go into detail. I'm gonna show you screenshots of my policy, the coverages that I have, and also you'll be able to see exactly how much I pay per month on the Booster. And I know a lot of people think just because it's classified as a sport bike that it's gonna be some astronomical amount. There's a lot of factors that go into how much you're gonna pay for your insurance. So to clarify things, first and foremost, this is considered a sport touring bike. So it's not the super sport bike like your Gixxer 1000s or the R1s or any other brand's 1000cc bike, or even like the 750 over there, because that's considered a super sport bike. And the insurance on this is less than the insurance on that. So what we want to do is talk about some factors first that go into your insurance as well as my insurance. The first thing is going to be the insurance company that you choose, okay? There are a lot of insurance companies out there saying that they can get you the better rate. You see their commercials all day. You see little lizards selling insurance, and you see Army guys selling insurance, and along with several other brands. So that's going to be the main characteristic, because each company, they have their their guidelines and what they charge for X, Y, and Z. There's a car coming by, y'all, so don't mind the noise. But the insurance company, they're all not created equal. They're all not going to be the same. So finding the insurance company that's going to fit your specific needs. Find an insurance company that's motorcycle friendly. Some don't. Some farm out to third parties. So I don't want third-party insurance through a main, insurance. So if that insurance company says, well, we don't do it, but we have such and such, don't deal with them. Just find another one. So I have State Farm insurance. I've had them as long as I can remember. I'm, 45, and that goes into another aspect of this thing. But I've had State Farm forever. And I tell people, when you get with a good insurance company, stay with them. I don't care if another company say, oh, I can save you $30 a month. That's not enough for me to change. So get you a good insurance company that's really about the people, about you, and stick with them. Okay, so next up, we're gonna talk about your age. Your age factors into it a lot. I know a lot of people that ride these types of bikes, whether it be the 750 class or the 1000 class, like the Booster. Your age is gonna play a big role in it, because your age is gonna determine how long you've been driving. Okay, so somebody that's 19, 20, 21 definitely is not gonna have the same rate as someone, 30, 35, 40 and up. So if you're younger, you're probably going to expect to pay a little bit more. So you got to make sure you understand that factor as well. That's one thing that only time can heal, so to speak, is, the older you get with a good, clean driving record, the lower your insurance start to go. Each year it'll go down a little bit more and a little bit more. So make sure you understand that fact. Okay. Next up, we're going to talk the type of bike you have, okay? Like I said, you have two classes of bikes here. You have the 750 over there, which is considered like the super sport. And then you have the Booster here, which is, considered a sport touring bike. And although it has more CCs, that doesn't, really dictate, super sport, blah, 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 because like you got a Gixxer 1000, but it has 90 CCs or whatever. And then like a Gold Wing has 1800 CCs. So it's the type of bike. And the type of bike, basically, over time, the behavior of people on those bikes, that also influences how the rates go. Because if it was just a bunch of older people riding these types of bikes and not doing the things that some of the younger generation is doing, and there weren't as many, accidents and that was a moth, accidents and stuff like that, I think the insurance rates would be cheaper on these bikes. So, it's a collaborative effort of, riders out here doing what they do. Most times people run, they're on these types of bikes. So insurance companies note that, and that goes into their mathematical equations, so to speak. So understanding the type of bike, if you have a cruiser, it's going to be a lot cheaper than a sport bike. If you have a touring bike, it's going to be a lot cheaper than a sport bike. So understand, so far, insurance company, age, your type of bike, how long you've had your license, that goes into the age category. So now, if you're 30 years old and you didn't get your license till you were 28, then that's going to kind of negate you being 30 as opposed to somebody that got their license at 16 or 17 or 18 or whatever. So the length that you had your license is definitely going to matter, okay? Next up, we're talking about tickets, okay? Speeding tickets, reckless driving tickets, running from the police and getting caught and so forth and so on. That's all going to play into it. The more tickets you got, the more points, the higher your insurance is going to be. That's why I said that's another reason why it's not worth it to be out here speeding all the time, racing all the time in the streets, running from the police and all that, because there's a long-term effect, not just the short term of you putting your life and others' lives in danger. It's also going to affect you in the long run. Now, for those people who say, oh, I don't got insurance, what insurance, this and that, you guys do what you do. If that makes you feel happy to not have insurance and possibly get in an accident and then, you hurt someone else and you don't have insurance to cover that and all of that stuff, like, it's too much, man. So just get insurance on your bike. But who am I to tell you what to do with your bike? So those, tickets, speeding tickets, even if you got speeding tickets in cars and stuff like that, that's going to play a role because it dictates your driving behavior and your driving habits. So they think that those driving habits in your car or truck will transition to your riding habits on your bike. So understand that's going to play a role as well, So you got all of those factors. Like I said, insurance company age, how long you have had your license, type of bike, all of that good stuff, your driving record. So try to keep that driving record clean. And a side note, if you're in North Carolina and you have a speeding ticket, make sure you go check out Bike Safe NC, because you can take a one-day course and you can get a ticket dismissed in court and you won't have the points and your insurance won't go up. So bikesafenc.com if you're in North Carolina. Okay, so like I said, with my insurance, I have State Farm, and I got my phone here, so I'm going to show you the screenshots from my insurance app, and we're going to talk about it. And yes, I have the amount blurred out right now because it's all for dramatics, but we're going to get to it. So I want you to understand my policy coverage. So if you go and you have different policy coverages throughout your insurance, that's going to play a role. Along with your deductible is going to play a role into the cost of your insurance per month. So me, with you see at the top, 2024 Suzuki GSX 1300R. Now the R is after the GS, after the 1300. So if it was GSXR, it'd be in a super sport class. But with the R being after the 1300, it's considered a touring bike. So, okay, my coverages, all right. Bodily injury, limit per accident, $100,000, limit per person, $50,000. So together that's $30.68 a month, okay? Well, not a month, this is 6 months, okay? Premium is 6 months. So that's $30.68 per 6 months. Next, you got property damage, limit per accident, $50,000. And that's gonna cost $29.40 per month. Then you have fire theft and combined additional coverage with malicious mischief and vandalism. Every 6 months is $52.81. So after that, you're going to have uninsured, underinsured motorists. Limit per person, $50,000. Limit per accident, $100,000. And every 6 months, that's going to cost me $16.50. cents, okay? And then uninsured motor vehicle property damage, underinsured limit per accident, $50,000, and that cost me a whopping $1.50, excuse me, per 6 months. So understand the coverages that I have. So that's all the coverage that I think I need on my bike, right? So be patient, the total amount I'm about to tell you. Those are the coverages that I have. So if you're trying to get close to where I am, and maybe you're close to the same age range, maybe you had your license a while, when you talk to these insurance companies, tell them you want that specific coverage, and that's gonna be as close as you can get to my number. Now, keep in mind, I haven't had any speeding tickets, guys. Okay, knock on wood. I don't have any, well, knock on wood, I haven't had any speeding tickets, any reckless driving tickets, any of that stuff, throughout my years of driving. So I always think about, my insurance and stuff like that when I'm out here driving my truck. I'm like, I'm not gonna be out here flying, because that's gonna affect everything. Just like I know a lot of people out there drive trucks, and you have CDLs, and you got to be very protective over those CDLs. So I treat that the same way, like with my bike. Like I don't want to ruin my motorcycle insurance or my vehicle insurance. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So I know we went through all that, and you guys want to see exactly how much I pay per month on the Busa. Every 6 months on the Suzuki Hayabusa, I pay a whopping $290.49 every 6 months. So if you bring out your trusty calculator and you divide 290 by 6, you're at a whopping $48 a month and about 30 cents. So I pay less than 50 bucks a month for my 2024 Suzuki Hayabusa Anniversary Edition. When I first started riding, yeah, my insurance was up there. So, and one thing that people don't think about when they're going to see what kind of bike they want to get, especially if they're going to finance it. And look, there's nothing wrong with financing your bike as long as you can pay for it. Don't listen to people say, oh, don't finance toys, don't finance motorcycles. They're not paying for it, so don't worry about what they say. But not only do you need to know how much the bike is going to cost you, before you go buy a bike, get the VIN number, call the insurance company to find out how much that insurance is going to be, so you're not surprised when you get the bike. You're like, oh, okay, I got a $150 a month payment on my bike, I'm good. And then the insurance come back and say, yeah, well, we want $200 a month for insurance. Now you're kind of stuck, you know what I mean? You done got the bike, and now you got to pay this insurance. So find out how much the insurance is, because that can also dictate what type of bike you're going to get. So like I said, I pay 48 bucks a month for the Busa, and I think that's really good considering it is full coverage, okay? If it was just liability, it'd probably be a third of that, you know what I mean? Or half or a third of that, So like I said, I salute State Farm because I've been with them, like I said, for eons. I've got the bike, my mom's car, my truck, my homeowner's life insurance. I got everything through them. All of that stuff, guys, all of that stuff I just mentioned, and all of that is less than $250 a month. So 2020 SUV, 2020 Silverado LTZ, the Busa, my house that I built in 2023, and like I said, my life insurance policy, all less than $250 a month. And with this being $48 a month, it's a big help for that. So make sure you do your homework. Call around to several insurance agencies. Don't just stop at one, okay? Call all of them if you have to. But like I said, my recommendation is good old State Farm, because they've been treating me well. So State Farm, if you see this, let's work out some kind of, collaboration or something like that, So I just wanted to make sure I gave you this information. I had someone request that I talk about the insurance, the coverages, premium, and all that I have on my bike. And I want to be open and transparent with you guys. So if you're out there riding, make sure you ride safe. Hit that wonderful subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel. And if you're out there riding, I say, yeah, if you're out there riding, ride safe. But as always, keep the rubber side down, shiny side up. Peace.